suppose, Steve, you said you weren't going to get much of a holiday in, but we're thinking about setting a seat up down in reception for you. You've been here that much at ASC or New York Stadium. Tell us a bit about how your summer's been so far.
Well, the staff at reception think I'm a piece of furniture. I probably look like that some days, but I'm in the building every day. It's been really busy. As you know, every player so far that we've put pen to paper to, and of course, the lads who we've kept from last season, I've met up with every individual and had a chat and outlined my thoughts on the season that's going to be coming on us, which is going to be really tough, but it's been very busy. Had phenomenal support from the staff around me, from you guys in the media department, but certainly Paul Douglas and Rob Scott, they've been tremendous. But hey, listen, Tony Stewart, I read his words when I first joined the club, and I heard these words that he'd lost a little bit of love. Well, he's kissing, he's hugging, and he's loving, because he's been phenomenal. And I thank him, I really do thank the chairman. And that's Steve thanking him, not the matter, Steve's thanking him for stepping in 3 or 4 times and making these deals happen when we thought players might have been going elsewhere, and I could name 4 or 5, the Raffertys, the Raggets, Jono, Clark Harris. We think they're drifting to new pastures, and chairman said, let me come down to the stadium and see if we can get this over the line. Thank you to the chairman, thank you to Richard and the board, to Karen, to Julie, to Steve, to everyone, to John, everyone on the board.
You mentioned it's been a real collective effort. You've put plenty of hours in, as we've said already. Has it felt really worthwhile? You've got a number of signings in, and we're not even in June yet.
Yeah, very much so. I think I'd describe it to our supporters, and I think most will relate to this, is it's a new house. And my words to the chairman and me together this morning was we've put the base foundations now in place. We've kept some really good footballers, and that shouldn't be forgotten. We've kept some really good players. 1 or 2 may, out that kept group, may leave us. If they decide to leave us, sit in front of me and say, I don't want to be here. Bye. We don't want them either then. But if they want to be here, the one thing they're really good footballers. They're getting mixed into a blend of really good footballers. And what we're trying to do is so we built a base, and maybe over the next week or 10 days, we will add to that base, but we'll add selectively, we'll add some little bits of quality, we'll add the gems that we feel that we need to make the squad completely rounded. And we're certainly in a really, really good place, and we're looking forward to completing the jigsaw as we go forward over the next few weeks. But quite rightfully, our supporters, as they tell me every day I come to the stadium, they're excited, and we're going to have a good season, and we're just degrees of how good it is.
The response from the players we've spoken to that are already through the door have been unanimous in saying that you made a big impression on them when you've spoken to them to try and get them to come to Rotherham United. How have you gone about doing that?
Well, I think first and foremost, these players of today, when you want them, you have to demonstrate how much you want them versus a other manager, if you like. It's not unbeknown to me to travel near the players' home, so save the inconvenience for them. I'll take the inconvenience. I want to sign you. I want to present to you what I'm thinking about, where I'm going to play you, how I'm going to play you, where you'll fit in our structure. It's been brilliantly received by them. I think Joe Pearl was the example. I think Joe had, 4 in total really good alternatives to herself. I went within 10 minutes of his house, met him in a hotel, had a cup of coffee, spoke for 2 hours. I don't speak in terms of financials. That's Rob Scott's job. I don't get involved in that, and Tony Stewart's job. I don't get involved in it. But I get involved in talking football and educate them how many times I've seen them, when I've seen them, when I thought they've done so well, when they've not done so well. And I give them a complete scenario where I see them in the jigsaw that we are trying to build. So it's been brilliantly received, and I'm always thankful to a player that wants to come and be part of something special. So becoming part of our project is a massive thing for all of us.
You mentioned that you've kind of put the kettle on for a few of those targets as well. How nice has it been to sit down and get to know them as people as well before bringing them into the building?
I think it's massively important. Probably when I first meet a player, people think that you're immediately talking football. That's the common link. What we're immediately talking is families and personal circumstances, and reviewing the career and reviewing the season that's just gone before them. If they played against my teams, how that went, how they thought they did, how we'd see them as an opponent. And then you get to know the people, you get to know the families behind them, whether it's the mum or dads, whether it's the representatives they're close to, whether it's the partners, the wives, the children. I think it's all part of a mix. And And I think when you become maybe a granddad like myself, I think you can take a more overview, looking down as if they're my children, and how you deal with them. So that's also been brilliant to get to know them as well. So I think it's massively important because you spend so much time together from the last week in June. We'll report as a group and we'll be here to the following May at the earliest. And it's really, really important that you know each other.
You mentioned in another interview I heard the other day that it's a bit of a taboo subject almost, isn't it, to have signed people so quickly. People in the outside world are kind of wondering how Rotherham United are doing it. As far as you're concerned, it's great to have tied these lads up free agents and to have them secured early. Yeah,
listen, it's not about timing or when you sign the players. What that person did also say is it's important you get the right players. My point is it doesn't matter if it's 3 weeks ago, whether it's this week or whether it's next week. It's just getting the right individuals in to make your group up. But that individual thought, well, you recruit early, then it doesn't make you successful. Or in fact, I think it was stronger than that. You'll not be successful. Yeah, that person has had no promotions, none, zero. And so we'll continue to work the way we've always worked as a management team, myself and Paul. And we'll present our plans very early, and we'll present our targets very early. It won't be an agent or a representative phoning me and convincing me someone's a good player when I didn't see it with my eyes. So our plans and thought process was coming into this football club. My first day that Tony Stewart appointed me, or reappointed me back as the manager, I said to the chairman, here is a clear list that me, him and Rob discussed. And that's what we're working through. There is no one, unless there's a surprise, oh, he's available, oh, we like him. That can happen. But otherwise, we're speaking to players that we know will do a great job out here.
Within that list, there's probably too many already to talk about individually, but you managed to put together a nice blend, haven't you? You've got the experience, you've got the up-and-comers, and you've got people with promotions on the CV as recently as last season.
Yeah, I think it's common practice for me when I stand in front of a group for the first time, whether it was my time here at New York, first time around, or whether it was at Peterborough or Stevenage, I normally have an address and saying, well, how many players in the room have won promotion? Because that is a very special ingredient. We're fortunate enough, that won't be my words, but how many's not won promotion? Because there's a lot of promotion winners in there. And every one of those lads has said the same thing, which I feel is that your next promotion is the best one because you've got strong memories of previous times. So we have got a lot of promotion winners. We've got a lot of quality. We've got a lot of desire. We're going to have a lot of competition for a place in the team. We've got a lot behind us. The support behind us in terms of the Millers fans has always been incredible. The stadium's incredible, and we have a chairman who I was gobsmacked when I heard his words that he'd lost a lot of love. He's reinvented his love. He's buzzing, and every day I'm getting phone calls and messages where we are with targets, because we've not stopped working. We're still going to try and add to the group. So as I said, we're building the house, all the foundations in, the first layers are in, and everyone will relate to this. Now we're picking the kitchen, now we're picking the lounge, now we're picking the windows, now we're picking the driveway. That's taking it to a building thing, but we're building our team really selectively, and it's going to be tough because the one thing that people forget, League One next season is going to be the toughest it's been, and that's, you're going to have big spending Birmingham, big spending Wrexham. You're going to have Bolton wounded from the plus, because in my opinion, they deserve promotion last season, and Ian will be hurting. And it's not just them. We've got Barnsley up the road who failed in the playoffs, and that can happen, but they'll be hurting. And we've not even mentioned some of the other giants like Charlton in the league. So it's going to be a real tough division, but they'll also be thinking we're in that mix as well.
Someone who likes to defy the odds, just to follow up on that, does it give you even more kind of vigour for the challenge, the fact that it's going to be such a tough division?
Yeah, I think it does. I think. Listen, we can all personally speak as we find, and some hide behind the bushes and some don't. This football club should never be out of the Championship. I think if we had been here halfway through the season, I think this football club would still be in the Championship. We'd be looking forward to Championship football, but it is what it is. So we're looking forward to League One football. We know how tough it's going to be. We're not silly. You see the size of the clubs, you see the resources at those clubs, but we're in amongst that. We don't hide the fact that we've got good resources too. So and maybe that's a lot to do with why we've been able to go and do some business as well. So we're very sensible. Our chairman talks about value for money every day we speak to him, whether it's getting parts of the stadium, you know, repainted, whatever he's doing. We just make sure we get value for money. We've done that thanks to Rob Scott. Rob's done brilliant. Paul Douglas, brilliant. You know, and from our point of view, the board has been absolutely brilliant. I'm just trying to do a little bit in that big jigsaw to make sure that the Millers fans will be proud of this team, not only in the opening day of the season, but on the last day of the season. And we made them proud on the last day. We couldn't affect many days before that.
We've been privy to a few conversations you've had with Rob and his team, and it's been very rare that you've not had one sat alongside you. It's very clear there's a real defined plan for the club at the minute and your recruitment. Have you got other areas in mind already of where you're looking to strengthen in the summer?
Yeah, very much so. You know, our supporters could probably identify them as easily and as rapidly as I could. You know, 2 good players for each position. It's a plan that many football clubs have. Some get digressed and end up with a lot more in similar positions, but from our point of view, that's a clear plan we have. So what was important to me when I came in is that when I met Rob, separately, I didn't really know Rob. I knew of him, but I didn't know him. It was important that it was hand in glove. We worked together. Our chairman insisted on that we were taking this project on collectively and working through it. And the other part of that trio, of course, is the chairman himself. He's heavily involved. And as you know, most days when I come into the town, that is most days, then my first port of call is I have a coffee and a cup of tea with the chairman. And that's just to go through up-to-date positions. Can he help us? Can he influence things for us? Can he do something that's out of the ordinary? That's why we've made so many signings. Tony Stewart has appeared here, made things happen. And I'm thankful, like I said earlier in this interview, I'm thankful to the chairman.
Now, you are due to have some time off in inverted commas. You've been due to have that since at the start of May, I think. But will things perhaps slow down a little bit? I know the wheels of recruitment will keep turning as they always do, but can Millers fans expect perhaps a little bit of a lull while players go away on holiday?
Yeah, I think when I'm away on holiday, Rob Scott will still have a player at the New York signing a contract. I think that will happen. Myself and Rob's just recently been away for a week, 3-4 times every day in his holiday we speak. 3 or 4 times every day we email exchanges, he emails agents, I'm speaking to players. That will continue next week. I will still be on the telephone with Rob 3 or 4 times a day. I'll still be speaking to our key targets, our key objectives that we'd like to get the squad completely rounded. So the work will continue, but by natural evolution, you know, we've signed enough players now that we're getting to the stage where it's 3-4 players done. So and here we are, we're still in May. So we're in a really good place. There's a previous chairman I used to work for who's very good on social media, very high on social media, who actually took the time to have a conversation with me yesterday and said, wow, recruitment has been fantastic at Roll. I mean, he looks objectively, he looks as an opposition chairman, he builds his team and his squads, and he thinks our recruitment's been first class. As a second endorsement to Tony Stewart in chairman's world, I'll take that because he knows his football.
Recruitment has obviously been the headline of this interview and the headline of the summer so far, but you've not just sat on that laptop signing players, you've managed everything from pre-season friendlies, you're looking at a tour as well. Is there any light you can shed on the kind of plans you're making in that front as well?
Yeah, we're certainly going away. We're at this minute in time, it's not been confirmed yet, but we'd be hopeful of going to God's country, of course, which is Scotland. We'd be hopeful of going there. We're trying to sort the logistics out of it because of the cup competition in Scotland starts in a group format, starts earlier, so we have to make sure we have not only wonderful training facilities, which is there waiting for us, but we have to make sure we have a good quality opponent when we're up there. And then I'm sure your media team, subject to sanction by our chairman, will be announcing shortly our full programme of pre-season, and it's varied. As you would expect, it increases the level of competitiveness in each week we go by, and I'll let you break the news on some of it. But I am so looking forward to it. I'm so looking forward to have the few days off. I'm so forward to coming back in and with all the group and having a real positivity about the players, because from a distance and being inside the football club, there was so much negativity last year. But you know, last season it's shut the window. It's gone. It's about we're in a real good place. Our supporters quite rightfully should be excited, Sam. This is a great football environment to come into. I come in here today, subject to news later from yourself, that in the next 24 hours we might have just added to the group. And Tony Stewart this morning said yes, and we were able to do it. So I'm not going to say any more about the chairman. He doesn't want to hear from me for a few days now because he knows I'm going on a break. But thank you to every Miller supporter who's taken the time to stop and have a chat with me, whether I'm in the petrol station, whether I've been, around the town. Just don't stop talking to me. Don't stop talking, even if it's a bad day and the result is so good. Give me your thoughts, because everyone has thoughts and everyone has feelings and everyone has opinions, especially in football.
On a light-hearted last note, if you do get abroad, you won't be short of sun hats, will you?
Oh, listen, I've got a few sombreros. I've certainly got a big one I can put in my case. But if you see me, you won't see me out in the sun. You'll see me under a brolly, hiding from it. But that's for the other half to get the raise. And yeah, I'm just so excited to be back as the Rotherham United manager, trying my level best to take this club where I left it before, which is in the Championship, because that's, whatever everyone says, that's the minimum. I looked at Eddie Howe, the job he did at Bournemouth a number of years ago now, and I can remember Eddie would have been thinking it was impossible for Bournemouth to be where they are now and Rotherham to be where we are. But that's football. You earn it on the pitch.